Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the That's How We Roll channel. Thank you so much for being here with us for episode 3 of Misfits of Alseta. Before we jump in, we got a couple of amazing announcements, so I'm going to turn it over to Lee to get that started.
Hello, I'm Lee to get that started. One of the things, if you know me, you know I do pancake art, and I'm with the company Dan Cakes. So why not? We're an affiliate. If you use the promo code Misfits, you get 10% off of any order. That can be for your own griddle setup, colors, bottles. If you want to commission a pancake of my horrible horse abomination from last week, we can make one for you and frame it.
That would cost extra.
But still discounted.
But it's 10% off.
Carry the fork.
Also, Idle Champions. This time we do have a code, and it is right down there. And as soon as it pops up, I will read it off to you. But it's an idle game. Oh, there it is. Polk Lobo. I think it's random, but it's just fun to say. Yeah, so it's an awesome D&D IP idle game. You may notice that one Hope LaVelle is a character that you can play as Penelope.
Two characters. Two characters. I gotta say, I'm selfishly gonna say I am the voice of Iris the Beholder, if you didn't know.
That's correct.
I love it.
That's not selfish.
Use those codes, get some things, and over to you, Daniel.
Thank you very much, my co-host. Today we're going to be talking about Friday afternoon tea. If you like tea, and I know that I do, I love a cup of tea. You can go over to fridaytea.com. Fridaytea.com is all about the flavor of words and description. So you can have such things as the Northwest Rainforest or the Village Witch. If you want to know what a Village Witch tastes like, you can have the tea. It's Yonder Fog, they got it all. It's great, tasty yum-yums. Tasty Friday tea. Only on Fridays, though. Because if any other day would be improper. So fridaytea.com. And next we have a Questbook. Questbook is currently one of our sponsors. We have an affiliate with. We have also basically partnered with the Storytellers hiring service Questbook. Questbook have talented storytellers across New Zealand who run wonderful tabletop role-playing games for groups across the world. If you would like to join one of those campaigns, simply head to questbook.nz and you can hire one of us goofy goofballs, including myself if you want that. While you're there, you might even spot a familiar face. It's me. I'm the if we're being dropping subtleties. That's right. I'm one of them. You can hire them really easily with your friends and so on to play online, or if you're in New Zealand and you happen to be in the city of the DM offline, which is awesome because anyway, Questbook. That's very nice. It's very very good. And it's not just D&D. You can play anything else. It's DM, GM, potato, whatever. It's good.
All right.
Yeah? Sorry. Yeah, it's me.
Okay, great. And we're going to quickly go around so you can get to know our lovely players tonight. And I will start this time with Damien.
Oh, hello there. I am Damien. I am playing Reginald Bellagamba, a Marquis de la Sackville, and I welcome you to our lovely stream. Thank you.
Dani.
Hello, I'm Dani Gage, your, only neighborhood cosplayer, I guess. And today I'm playing Silva, who is our Fire Genasi Warlock, Pact of the Talisman. And yeah, that's it. That's me.
April.
Hello! Hi, I'm April. You can find me all over there as April Raygun. And tonight, I'm playing Nira, the Kobold Bard. College of Glamour.
Yay! Duval.
Yo, hey everybody. My name is Jacob Plicque, Duval King Jacob, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere. DM of Duval and Dragons, and co-founder of the Amphitheater. And tonight, as per usual, I'm playing Kotatar. He's a Githzerai Horizon Walker Ranger. We both use he, him pronouns. And he's not mad right now, which is maybe the first time in literal history.
Soon to change. Lee.
I just have to say, Jacob is so clean and on point with his intro. It makes us all look terrible. And on that note, hi, I'm Lee. I am your friendly neighborhood pancake artist. And in this game, I play David, the wildfire druid. And I am the nightmare animal shaper, as apparently last week cemented in. So fun. I'm good. Thank you.
And Daniel.
Hello. I'm Daniel Denova, playing Sanleon, the vampire, well, not really vampire, Dhampir, barbarian rogue. He thinks he's a vampire. And I'm happy to be with everyone here today, or at least maybe conceptually. As far as I am as a player, I'm a voice actor and also an illustrator. You can find me Tart and Kiwi. This is my handle. Oh, yeah.
And I am Hope LaVelle. You can follow me on Twitter at the Hope LaVelle. And you can watch me play an 80-year-old lady on Children of Erte on Tuesdays on the Demiplane RPG channel. But tonight, more importantly, I am the Dungeon Master for this awesome show. I love it. Being able to be here every Wednesday with you guys is highlight of my week. With that, we're going to do our land acknowledgements. Over to you, Damien.
Thank you, Hope. I would like to begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation from where I am playing from in Australia. They are the traditional custodians of the land on which I am playing from today, and I pay my respects to their elders past and present. We also have Daniel here from the land of Aotearoa, and the Maori people are the traditional owners of that land. And in America, we have players from the Fernandino Tataviam, Hohokam, Tumakua, Creek, and Cherokee. And we acknowledge all those Indigenous peoples. And back to you, Hope.
I think with all of that said, let's roll that beautiful beam footage, Damien.
Will do.
All right, time for a recap of episode 2. It was chaos. That's all I'm gonna say. That's it. That was it. It was that's the recap. No, our Misfits decided to help when they heard a stable keeper yelling out that his horses had gotten loose in the city. But they weren't just horses. They had transformed into nightmares and these shadowy horses that were running amok in the city. And as they went to chase down these horses, each horse split into they all went in 6 different directions. So each of our characters ran off towards a different horse to try to take care of it and stop it before the damage was done too badly. Except for Nira, of course, thinking ahead, trying to solve the problem at its source, decided to try to turn the stable keeper into a sheep. It did not break the spell, however, but it was a really good darn try. Through some horse games and horseplay, the nightmares were subdued and defeated, turning them back into beautiful healthy horses, which they brought back to the stable keeper, who was no longer a sheep, thank goodness. And they actually ended up keeping 2 of the horses. We have a Christopher and we have a Sunleon. Remind me of your horse's name.
Gallivant.
Gallivant. Love it. So now we have 2 horses in the party and they're beautiful. And that's basically, after that, they decided to get some, get a break, a drink, some food, while David, who needs to change his name in Zoom, David and Reginald went to return some jewelry, and David gave Reginald a little bit of a life lesson in being a good person, while the others got some food and drink at the local Owl Inn and discussed some stuff. And that is where we will pick up. I do believe that we are still in the Owl Inn with our party here, and I don't recall if Reginald and David made it back yet. I think you guys are still in the jewelry district. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we were making our way back, I think.
You're making your way back.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to fast track it, I can say that you made it to the Owl Inn, and that is where we will start with you guys meeting up.
I'm happy with that.
All right, so it's probably been, I would say maybe an hour or so, maybe a little less, with you guys getting your food and your drink, and you guys all meet back up.
Oh, hello, colleagues. Yes, how are you today?
Splendid. I'm absolutely splendid.
Are you drunk already? Are you drunk already, San Leon?
No.
I think
Not at all.
You should know to pace yourself a bit better, my friend.
Well, I've...
I think
You see the barkeep. She kind of just looks over at you and she says, "It's too early for this," and she great lesser restorations, I believe, and you feel a lot more sober.
My goodness, I paid for that, Bella. Well,
Oh my goodness, San Leon! Look at you. You're all. Oh, your collar is all messed up. Oh my goodness.
it's called fashion, darling. It's asymmetry.
It's not a fashion I've heard of.
Well, I mean, not in Sackville.
Maybe back in your homeland, which I would love to meet one. I'd love to meet one day.
Oh, you really
Visit?
don't.
You have mentioned that, yes.
I would love to come to Sackville, though.
Oh, you'd be most welcome. I'm sure you would learn many things.
I'm sure I
You'd learn
would.
a lot.
Yes,
I
indeed.
turn to David. Yes? What have you two been up to?
We've been returning things that weren't rightly ours.
Ah, good. Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes, I gave the proprietor 2 gold pieces for the trouble as well.
That's right, Reginald. We don't need to talk about all the things that we do. We just can do them.
Very
I'll write
good.
that down.
Very good.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Have a soup.
Oh, I'd love some soup.
Soup? Can we get soup?
Why were these things?
Oh, absolutely. The barkeep comes and brings you a tray of ketchup. Here's your cat soup. Is that all you need?
This is, I put a spoon in it. It just stands up, I think, because it's just ketchup,
Ketchup.
right?
Oh,
Soup.
yeah. Sorry, it might be a dialect thing. You want soup, not cat soup. All right, cat soup, ketchup.
Correct.
It's same thing. All right. I'll bring you some nice chicken noodle soup.
Same. Sure, same thing. Kotatar,
San Leon.
weren't you drinking the same amount as me, or how are you?
Yes, I was, and Yeah.
All right. Well, yes. Good job. Good. What are you drinking? What is that?
It's a red ale.
Red. What
Would you
red
like
ale?
some?
I thought they only came in brown.
No.
Yes, I'd love a red ale. I love red.
I bet you do.
Ooh, that was a rather sharp comment.
Sharp indeed. I like it. Good job.
San Leon, Kotatar, you guys notice that Silva's kind of being a little quiet.
Silva, you're being a little quiet.
I may have just noticed.
Yeah, just thinking,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just have to ask David a question. David, did you get Reginald to pay the extra 2 gold, or is that like a thing he did on his own?
I suggested it might be a good idea to offer our assistance and not tell people that we did, doing good for the sake of doing good, because kudos
Modesty.
kudos on a currency you can spend, but it's Reginald, so he told you all about it. But yeah.
Wow, and he actually went along with it.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too, but yeah, we and also, I mean, it wasn't just the gold. Honestly, Reginald was a big part of helping to clean up the mess that those nightmares made.
Huh? Well, good for you. Let me get your lunch. That's impressive. And I'll pay for David's fare.
Looks like
I just
whatever you
get
want,
a-
David.
I'll have a glass of water and a salad, please.
The Marquis
If you-
brings you a salad, but it has extra chicken in it.
Thank you.
And another red ale. 2 of them.
Absolutely.
Yes, I love red ale. I don't even know what it is yet.
It's
And
There's something
Hey.
special about it.
It's
I
red.
don't know if it's anything special, but
Do you, the
There's
ale
a-
back where I was from was always brown or grey, and it tasted
I
like
see.
almost nothing. It was horrible. I mean, everything was horrible back there. Red ale is going to be wonderful.
it has a bitter note on the end that I quite enjoy.
Bitter.
Interesting.
Okay.
Not too bitter like an IPA or anything like that. It's just right on the edge.
What does the I stand for?
Indigo,
Indigo. Oh,
which is strange
indigo
because it's
colored.
not blue. No, typically light yellow.
Yellow. It comes in yellow as well.
I believe it's irony.
I know nothing about this.
I got apple juice.
I have
Apple
water.
juice.
I'll have an apple juice.
Oh, it's really good. You want to try mine? And I hand.
Yes, I do. I take a sip.
Really good apple.
Delightfully.
Wait, I have to.
Face.
Nira, were you trying to give it to David?
Yeah.
Amazing.
As soon as you do that, as you go to take a sip, I'm gonna mage hand the cup a little bit extra. So a little spills out.
A little spill.
It's got a bit of a kick to it, that does. It's all over my face.
The apple juice.
Yes.
Got a bite.
And
Why
then
are
I
you
take
all looking
Add
at
a
me?
little cinnamon, I think.
Wow.
Mm.
I thought you. All right.
I'll get another one for David.
You know what's odd is I've actually had a cider that actually tastes just like apple pie. There's cinnamon and nutmeg in it. I haven't been able to find it in a long time, though.
That from your
You know what would
homeland.
be a real feat
No.
is if they could make cider just like that, but with a little bit of like a cream or something to kind of mimic that ice cream and apple pie flavor. Maybe
Oh, you know what?
like
They
foamy
actually-
head on top.
They kind of do. It's sort of like that. It's a pie, right? And then you put ice cream on it.
No, for the drink in the drink. So like the make the cider like that.
What if you took the ice cream and you made it all squishy, and then you put the
You
pie
could-
in it and you squished it in it, and then we waited till it was less cold so then you could drink it.
Oh, I bet that would be
You're
really
a genius,
good.
Nira.
You're a
Nira,
genius.
We should try it.
I've seen you doing amazing things, Nira. I'm sure you could pull it off.
Takes out the
Does anyone
notebook
want
and starts
shots?
writing down how to make a milkshake.
I could go for a shot.
Don't we have something to do? Don't we
oh.
have somewhere to go and a place to
The
be?
mayor. We need to go to the mayor.
the mayor. But first,
should-
bartender.
We should probably
I don't have a
meet
drink.
the
I don't-
condition at the mayor.
Oh, very well. We can have drinks
Okay.
later. Yes, all
I'll
right.
have a shot of coffee then.
Espresso
Some
all
coffee.
around.
Espressos
Espresso.
all around, all right? And she brings you 6 little espresso shots, practically little cups, little mugs for you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Very good.
And that'll
So
just be
horses
the
were
settle your
covered-
tab.
I had a water and a salad.
Oh, never mind. I'll pay.
take care
I'll
of the
pay for
ales.
I'll pay for everyone. Sit down, everyone. I'll pay for everyone.
You can't never
I've been
mind
Sit up,
before
Reginald.
no one. Right. Thank you, David.
Barkeep, how much for everyone?
And she'll like
I look at the barkeep as she's doing that, and I just kind of go,
let me write. Let's see. Oh wow, that's a natural 1. Yeah, she has no idea what you're saying.
Translation failure.
She just bends down and like whispers in your ear because she doesn't want to like spread it around because it was quite a bit.
I'll put what is it, 5 gold towards it?
That's plenty. Plenty.
Five gold, Sandler. Put your money away. I'll pay for everything.
You settle your tab. It's no problem. Reginald will take care of it this time. I'm sure you guys split it.
Next time,
differently every
Sandler. Next time.
I'll do next time.
You do next.
Thank you all for coming to the
Venmo.
Owl Inn. Be sure to come back now. You hear?
Of course, of course.
I'm not done my salad. Do we have to?
Takeaway box.
You take it with it. It's a
David?
road salad.
We've got a few minutes. We've got a few minutes, certainly. Take your time, David.
I'm fine. So horses that were nightmare. I mean, it was a little on the nose, but what? Right. What?
And then Reginald's just going to change the subject. So let's, the mayor, you say. Trying to ignore that horse monstrosity ever happened.
I was talking about the actual fire horses.
Yes, the fire horses.
Oh, yes. I can't get anything else in my brain at the moment.
Look, I also think that we need to talk to the mayor, but I think
Certainly.
that the way that everyone's sort of really trying to focus on something else, maybe we take a beat, take a day to just breathe. We just fought what we fought. And honestly, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, we lost, kind of. I mean, we stopped we stopped the Nightmare King, and I kind of look at Nira and just be like, but we also didn't stop this, and we need to. That's on us, but we don't need to just go from one catastrophe to the next catastrophe. We can take a beat. We're in a town.
That is ironic, considering our travels and adventuring. Isn't that sort of the job description?
To not take care of yours, to not self-care at all? I mean, I don't know what contract you guys signed, but
None.
I adventure when I adventure, not, if you want to go to the mayor right now, let's go to the mayor. I'm ready to rock and roll. But
have a break.
Let's
have a break.
Take a moment.
Fascinated by this term. What was it that you called it?
Self-care.
That's new to me.
I'm sorry, you've never heard of self-care before.
There's not necessarily a gift to common translation for this term.
Maintenance.
On one's body?
Yes,
Well, that's
make sure that
every
you are
day.
pripped and preened to face the day another day. Sometimes your healing requires more than just a night's rest. Sometimes you need to work on the mind, the spirit, to make sure that you're tip-top. Right, David?
Yeah, I mean, for example, Kotatar. I know that you are very focused on your combat, your vengeance, and I love it. It's awesome. But, tell us a little bit, because I remember Alseta telling us when we are moving on that Limbo's the place. I mean, we're going to be traveling. And I remember her saying that Limbo's where you're needed the most. I don't know if that's where we're going, but I mean, we're going to get to see your husband again. Do you want to talk about what you guys do for fun? When not killing.
Dueling.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I will say this, though. If I'm being very honest, I'm not looking forward to going.
Why is that, my friend?
Because the sooner that I go, is the sooner that we'll be off to having to do the next thing. And then our being reunited is only temporary.
Why only temporary?
Because don't we have other things to save? Other places to go?
This is an idea out of left field, but perhaps your husband can come with us.
That's not something I've considered.
Of course, it has to be his decision, but perhaps something to think about.
Idea time. Okay, idea time. So, of course, Reginald, how both of us are nobles, to some degree.
Yes, indeed.
And you know how we all are traveling around from place to place with no real place to... I mean, you know how we all... And I point at... so Senlian points at everyone and says, you know how we all have bonded somewhat? Yes. I think... I don't know about all of you, but I would love to at least be able to have some form of home base. The word self-care came in, as David said, just put a candle above my head, and I just started thinking, a home base would be good. Even just something we can stock up, a place we can go, keep items to keep us, good for our adventures, or a place where we can ponder our next moves and such.
Well, that is a fantastic idea. Sackville is not too far from here. I'm not looking forward to going home particularly, but I left Sackville to get better at fainting, so I wouldn't be such a shame. I bring such shame to my family. But I don't see harm in going back to Sackville every now and then.
Silva?
Oh, I was just telling Reginald, if you don't want to go home, we could always go to my cottage. It's small, but we could probably fit everyone there.
You have a cottage?
That is
sounds
true.
lovely.
It's on the outskirts of Sackville, just a little bit away, near the forest. It's absolutely delightful.
Would you say, Silva, that it is bigger than the small house that we protected us from the tornado?
Wasn't that small, I believe, but it was a little bigger, just a little bit. It's cozy.
Who's home?
Perhaps after we see the mayor, we can... I'm not sure how this magic spell of Alseta works. Perhaps we can somehow teleport there? I don't know, but...
That's a connection
Yeah,
point
you
back.
ever thought?
Sorry?
I think I remember her saying that we couldn't decide the destination with that spell. I think it just
Oh, is
takes
that
us
right?
wherever she needs us most.
Okay.
Indeed.
So we'd have to travel there, but it's still a good idea.
All right.
But
What's
we
the
should go talk to the
countryside
mayor. It's only been like a day. We should tell the mayor what happened. This happened yesterday. Like I'm all for self-care, and I think we should take a day off. But like after we report and tell them that there are things trying to kill their town. The mayor's not
Sure,
quite
take a
informed.
look, yes.
Like
Yeah.
I
That's a good
agree. I
point.
agree.
yeah, we do need a day off, but it's been like 7 hours.
Well, as an official dignitary of Sackville and holding the proper position and such, I'm happy to go and talk with the mayor if you would like to have a rest here.
But we should
can all
all
go.
go talk to the mayor. We should all go together. Let's stop splitting up.
Yes.
We have one goal today: to talk to the mayor.
One thing.
Very well, very well. We will take
don't
your
know
suggestion.
I've told you all, but please do not mention at all that I am from any noble house at all. In fact, I am a vagrant. I am not part of anything.
Well, with those marks on your shirt, I don't think they would mistake you for nobility, Saint Leon.
Hey now that is a low blow.
Do you
you're
need
right.
help with that? And I'm going to digitate you dirtier. No one will think you're noble now.
I just changed my appearance to this grizzled. You see the sort of grey mutton chops coming down, receding hairline, sort of scar going across the nose and the face with a kind of like a hair lip coming up, and you see like a blacksmith's apron, one shoulder plate, and the rapiers have turned into two long swords. They go, right. Well, I need to change appearance walking around town anyway.
Typically, wouldn't you like duck in an alley to do that
Yeah,
instead
you
of doing
did
it
that
at the
in
table?
the road. Oh, I thought we were walking.
Oh,
you did this
yeah.
at the table.
I don't know if we committed to
We're
walking. 'cause I
walking
thought we
with
just
the
stayed at
table. Why did you take the table, Kotatar?
I think it ties the room together. Everywhere
how
we go,
David's-
it's for the
That's how David's
cottage.
still eating.
Taking it to go.
No, we just take the food, not the table.
There's no doggy bag. It's just to the whole table. In limbo, this is how it works. I don't really understand what you're saying.
Anyway, to the mayor.
Anyway,
All right,
As
so
we're on
you
the
guys,
mayor.
you guys are heading to the mayor. It's just up the road. You already got the directions. You guys soon come across this Capitol building. It's a large white building on the top of the hill.
Capitol Hill.
Capitol Hill
Made it here.
of Capital City. I'm so inventive.
Let's.
The best artist steal.
Hey, it could be a double fake. Maybe it's not Capital City.
Fake.
Let's approach the
All right. You guys make your way into the Capitol building. As you enter this large building, you'll see that it's made of fine white marble and it smells sterile. And a place like this you would think has some order to it, but in actuality, it is in complete disarray at this moment. There are people running around with papers in their hands. There are guards that are on high alert at everyone who passes, ready to draw their swords at a moment's notice. There are foxes running everywhere, in and out of the building through different doors that lead north, east, west, and south. They have tubes harnessed to their backs with letters or papers inside, and they are just zooming around. You see that there are 2 staircases that lead up to a second floor on either side of you, and straight ahead are 2 large doors, open with a guard on either side of it. What would you like to do?
Reginald just whispers to David and points at the foxes and says, "Don't get any ideas, David." And I'll approach the. Shall we approach the guards?
All right. Reginald, you leading the way, you kind of approach these guards, and immediately their spears go in front of the open doorway, and they say, "What are you doing? You can't. The mayor cannot be disturbed at this point."
Oh, my good man. Hello. Reginald Bellagamba, Marquis de Sackville at your service. I am here in an official capacity just to provide help for Capital City, because I see you're in quite distress at the moment.
And you see little foxes just go in between your leg and into the mayor's office, just one, and then another one runs out. Let them in, Tara. I sense no danger with them. You see, in the room is a large Loxodon.
Ooh.
They are.
I love this.
They are pacing back and forth. They're wearing purple robes, and they have papers in their hands as they pace. Let them in, Tara. Let them in. And the guards pull back their spear and let you walk past if you so desire.
Yes, walk past. Oh, the mayor, I presume.
Aye, yes. I knew you would come. I had a premonition that I would be approached by 6 figures, and that I should not fear them. Come, sit. Would you like some tea? I find it helps calm me in times of great stress.
Indeed. May I ask what your name is?
I am Castodon. And you?
Castodon, a pleasure. Reginald Bellagamba. I am the Marquis de Sackville. Here to help in any way possible.
Sackville. Right, of course, Reginald. I know of you, yes. I'm sad that we haven't gotten to meet under better circumstances, and they actually, you see a fox jump up onto their desk, and Castodon just calmly opens the tube and pulls out another paper, and then the fox just sits there panting for a couple of minutes while they read the letter. Actually, it seems that I've gotten word from Sackville, and actually urgent messages from every city and realm this morning. They're all asking for aid, as the strange, unexplainable things have been happening. Even a city as strong and fortified as West Ceres has asked for help. I don't know what's going on, but according to my premonition, I believe you do.
Wait, hold on. Sackville is in trouble.
Aye.
Silva. Sackville's in trouble.
Yeah, they said lots of cities are in trouble. West Ceres as well.
West Ceres as well. Oh, your father in West Ceres.
No, it's what's happening in all these places?
I couldn't tell you. The words, they don't make a lick of sense. Seems like dark shadows and people saying their dreams are happening in real life. They wake up with scary things. It's hard to explain in word. They just ask for help right away. I need to send aid.
So, Sackville and West Ceres, is there any other places you have heard of that are in trouble?
Everywhere, Reginald.
Absolutely.
Everywhere.
Everywhere from Maribara all the way down to the south. Every city. As you can see, the foxes, they just keep coming in.
Reginald is kind of...
forces anywhere so far.
Sorry, what did you say?
Resources? Have you dispatched any resources so far, or do you even have any?
I have my city guard. It is a very large army, and they are ready to go at a moment's notice. But I was waiting for you. My premonition said I could give my army more information after speaking to you.
Reginald's going to take Silva to the side, and then if everyone wants, I can keep talking to her. Or them, whatever their pronouns are. Yeah.
Then
Silva, what should we do? Where should we go first? I mean, I'm worried about your family.
I mean, we have to go wherever needs us most. Alseta said that the portal could take us where we needed to be. Maybe we just use the spell and see where she takes us.
Yes. But I'm so worried about your father.
Our families in West Ceres, but they're going to be in just as much trouble as everybody else. But can we be selfish like that? Can we help the people that we love first? Does that make us worse heroes if we take care of our own interests before whoever needs help most? I don't know how to navigate this.
I think that is a philosophical discussion of the ages there. Perhaps we should ask the rest of the group and get their input.
Right.
Are you okay? How are you feeling?
Yeah, no, I just didn't think that this extended that far and that wide, and just kind of processing this.
Likewise. I think we'll
grab everybody else.
Yeah, and we'll go back to the table and. Yeah.
Castodon has, during this time, made each of you a hot tea. If you asked for extra things in it, they're happy to oblige. You just notice they are very, very calm in this very, like, all this stuff is going on, but you see that they manage to just be a moment of calm that you can look to.
If you don't mind me asking, what's in the tea?
Only the best leaves around the city. We actually got that one from the Grove.
What grove's that?
The Grove is the section of the city just down the way where all of the mages live.
It's just called the Grove.
That's what we call it here in Capital City.
Okay. He takes a sip.
Can I insight check?
Sure. Yeah.
Is she being too calm?
You can make an insight check for sure.
I've already taken a sip, so if anything's in the tea,
Constitution saving throw.
17.
You just get the feeling that this is a leader. They just maybe have some like strange training in the past that they've been in dire situations, and they just know how to stay calm under pressure, and that's why they are the leader of Capital City, is because they can handle things like this.
Okay. So they're not a nightmare. Cool.
So tell me, what is it that you know about all of these strange going-ons?
do you mind if I tell him?
After you.
Go for it.
Alrighty.
Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Unless you want to. I don't mind.
No, please keep talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is Dream Realm. City in the sky, fell out of the sky. Went to the city. There was like sky elves. Been in the sky for ages. And then we helped them. Portal opened up. Tentacles, old calamari style. Dragged the king inside. We aided the queen get away. We went in the portal. Managed to rescue the king. There was this person called a Nightmare King. We killed him. That one there, points at Nira, managed to off the king, but not before some kind of hinky-dinky kind of magic stuff went on and merged the realms together or something. So now the waking world and the dream world and the nightmare world are one.
And we have reason to believe it's not just this plane.
You mean
There-
other planes of existence?
I think all existence as we know it, frankly. And we've been tasked to stop it, I hope.
Right. A Nightmare King. I've only heard in stories of a realm such as that existing. But here it is. In the flesh. Right. Well, I shall, in that case, send my guard as aid to the realm, as far as I can stretch it. But what do you suggest else I can do to protect my cities, my realm?
I think more important than your guard in this moment. I mean, it's important to stop the nightmares, but I think fear is the biggest fuel for all of this. So your presence, your calm, your leadership, if you can communicate with other leaders, if you can, there's so much of this so spread out that we can't choose where to go as easily as that. But the good news is I think that we have taken out the leader, the person that is aiming these nightmares. So it's now, for better or worse, pretty chaotic, but I think right now it might be a matter of maintaining calm among, and we'll do everything that we can, but it might not be here or Sackville.
I think that is very astute, David. Nira, I think keeping Mayor Castodon in good spirits is absolutely crucial. Do you have any magic or anything that can prevent fear, magical or otherwise, from coming upon her?
Forever? I would have to stay here, and I don't know if that would work.
Not even necessarily
But
forever.
I guess I could stay here.
Not necessarily
Nira,
forever.
we
but
need you.
Just,
Oh.
just for the short term.
That is very kind, but I do not think you need to worry about me.
I think they're calmer than we are. I am.
It's everyone else that we need to be worried about.
Actually, wait. Everyone else. And Mayor Castodon looks around and... Terra! Where is Illichor? She should be here. And the guards both look at each other and just shrug. Oh no. Illichor,
You're missing someone.
my right-hand advisor and archmage of this city. I have not heard from her this morning, which, now that I think about it, worries me. She is usually the first to jump into fixing a situation. Please, I am drowning in my duties. Will you check on her? She may be able to help you.
Does she interact with your foxes?
Not usually, no. The foxes are just mail service between the cities and the towns.
But do you think they would know her scent?
I suppose, maybe.
Tell you what, I'll chase down that avenue for a moment. But yeah, I mean, I'm okay with helping find your right hand.
I would appreciate it. My premonition said I could trust you, so I shall.
An archmage on the loose is not a welcome image. David, perhaps we might not be having that spa day after all.
Yeah, no, I put that together pretty quick. Okay, so I'll kneel down and take some of the chicken from my salad, and I'll start. I'll like offer it to whatever like the lead fox seems to be.
There's all the foxes seem to be coming from different. They all have their different sigils on them and like different markings. But you do see one still panting on the desk, trying to take a break.
Okay, so I'll just kind of offer some chicken, and I will cast Speak with Animals.
All right, it
nice.
gladly takes the chicken.
Was Elicor? Did you say was the name?
Illicor.
Illicor. So I'll give it, and I'll be like, do you understand me?
Yes.
It worked. I mean, of course it worked. Illicor, you know, the other one, the right hand, the one who helps the most, the magic one.
The other Loxodon. Yes.
Perfect. Can you help us find them? Can you track down the scent? You and your friends.
Need scent. Need.
Hey, Castodon, do you have anything of Illicor's nearby?
Yes, and they'll go to like the bookshelf and they'll pull out like a book and be like, this is Illicor's favorite book. You can, and like opens it and like puts it in front of the fox, and the fox like, scent. Yes. And the fox jumps off the table and kind of does like a pointer dog kind of nose looking straight out the door and say, come.
I guess we go. I did. I mean, of course.
All right. Got a job to do.
Thank you. And with that, the fox runs out the city door, or the Capitol building, and I assume you will follow.
Yeah.
Wrap up the hot tea first before we go.
Yep.
All right, yeah.
We're following? Okay. Yep.
As we walk out, I'm going to lean over to Sandy on. Do you have a different name when you look like this?
Yeah, Gareth.
Gareth. Okay, that's why I called you sir, because I realized you look different. You might not want to be called you, but you never told us that there was a different name, and that was going to get weird. Gareth.
Yeah, I'm not used to this. I'm not really used to being in a big city, so this is new. But if you see me, like myself, in a street, I should not be.
Okay, I'll make sure to remind you.
Gareth, just so I know, how long does your is it a hat of disguise or is it a spell?
Yep.
And the hat of disguise.
Disguise.
How long does it last? Is it just as long as you're wearing it, or?
I can just keep refreshing it, but it's every hour, so I just gotta keep willfully going. Hey,
I'm
bada bing, bada hat.
All right. Very well. You guys follow the fox, and it kind of leads out to the left, going the opposite direction that you guys came. So now you're going into the west side of the city, and it leads you in to the Grove. You guys, as you walk, let me think here. I gotta find my notes here. As you follow this road, more and more trees begin to come into view. You know, a lot of the city is just open and buildings, but there's actually this area with trees. And the more you walk down, the more these trees start to curve, creating a canopy over the pathway. There's lightning bugs in the air, and vines and flowers cover the buildings. And the fox is sniffing around, trying to find Illichor, and it kind of stops for a moment and then points down towards a cottage. There. Sense strong.
You smell any other scents with it? Any?
Tea. Spilt tea. On ground. Smells like wet wood.
What does the fox say?
I give. It was a little too softball there, Gareth.
Oh.
Out of character.
Yeah.
There's. Can you guys understand what they're saying?
No, we just
No.
I do have this. I do have the spell
Wild.
Speak with Animals, but I'm not using it right now.
This is. It's okay. Anyway, so there's spilled
Is
tea
this
and
your
possibly
first time?
danger. We should go into the.
Should we go
It's the
check
first
it out
time on
first?
purpose.
Oh, I see.
Should we go investigate it before we all go running up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look around.
Yeah.
Just make sure the perimeter is clear.
I could, hold on.
Do you want me to stealth in?
Well, I could also help you, or I could also stealth in with you.
We could do it together. Tag team.
Hold on. Do you want to be invisible?
Of course I want to be invisible. That's awesome.
Okay, and I poke you, and we both become invisible. As I cast invisibility on us.
Hey.
You both disappear.
Okay, we'll be right back. Now we could go look stealthily.
Oh, okay. Very well.
All right, what is everyone else going to do as they approach this cottage?
How far out were we distance-wise when that happened?
I'd say you probably see it about 60 feet away.
Okay. I'm just keeping an eye out, and bow in hand, just in case.
Okay. Yes, your bow has not lit up so far.
Okay.
All right, so Nira and Sunleon, you approach this cottage. Is there anything specific you would like to do?
I was stealthing the cottage.
Stealthing around the perimeter. You want to go into it? You want to look through windows?
Is there a
Would you-
window? Yeah, I was gonna stealth and try to like
Whoa.
get through some windows.
Yes,
Like any holes in the door.
There are windows, and there's a window in the door as well. This little wooden door. It's kind of a quaint, cute cottage. And yeah, you could look through the window if you'd like.
Yes.
Give me a perception check.
Can I aid that?
Perception?
Yeah. If you can either both roll a perception check, or you can aid her and add your what does that come to? Intelligence, perception,
Mine's a +3. What's yours?
wisdom. Okay.
I'll do a separate roll because mine's only +1.
All right.
Okay,
So you're
we'll do
both
two
you're
rolls.
both looking through the window. No problem.
Oh. 21. Yeah, we're doing different windows. We flank the room.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
guys can be looking at different windows. I'll give you that. That's good. You're flanking the
10.
front door. All right, so Sanleon, from your vantage point, you don't see much. You just see bookshelves that are completely. All of the books have fallen off. Everything is scattered. You see papers on the ground. You see a mess. Everything looks like disarray. Nira, from your side, you look in, and you can see again, books and papers strewn around this small cottage. You see kind of like a living room space, and then a little bit of like a workshop space in the corner. And you can see with your 21 that there are toy trains on the desk and little tools out that might have been used for playing or working on these little toy trains. And in the corner, you see a Loxodon rocking on the ground with a book in their hands. This, I'll give that to you if you want to keep going.
Yes, please. What's the book?
You can't tell from here.
I can't tell them from here. I'm going. Oh man, that toy train freaked me out. She did it all. There's the train.
It's
I'm gonna, because I have message over. I see her. She's in the corner, rocking back and forth, reading a book, and there's a train on the desk. And I don't know if we should just bust in the door. She looks upset. And I'll send that same message to Kotatar, because Kotatar's with the group.
Okay.
Is it what? Then you mentioned like the Loxodon, right?
Yeah.
To be specific. Is it a child?
No. Wait, it's not a child, right?
It is a fully grown Loxodon.
It is a fully grown Loxodon.
I'll even give you this, Nira, as you're looking in. You actually see what this Loxodon looks like. They're wearing like a train conductor kind of outfit. They've got striped overalls on with a matching hat and like goggles on top of it.
They look like a train conductor. But not like the train person in the world, right? In the Nightmare World?
No, not like Journeywood Jones is the only person you saw on the train.
Okay, just making sure. They look like a train conductor. Should we go in? Should I try to see what they're thinking about?
Perhaps we should knock.
Okay, I'll go. Do you want to knock and I'll keep watching them just in case?
On my way. And I'll share all the deets with everybody.
Okay, see you soon.
Okay, love you, bye.
Okay, love you, bye.
All right,
No, you hang up.
So Kotatar, I'm assuming you're gonna let everyone know and then head forward. What would everyone else like to do when he tells you this?
David will follow, but like as he steps forward, like when you like kind of get lightheaded and you like take a step but like lose your balance and kind of you don't fall but you kind of just so he kind of feels a little woozy and just like so okay, sorry. Oof.
Were you okay?
I'm good. No, yeah. And also
sure.
Kier will summon up. No, I think I'm fine.
All right.
Silva?
Go ahead.
Sorry, Silva, what are you doing?
I was thinking about doing a perimeter check, but I think if something's obviously going on in there, I think we're okay just walking in. So, I will try to prep a little bit, I guess, by, as we walk in, I just want to keep an eye out for any type of manifestations of nightmares.
Very good. Why don't you, as you're walking up to the house, you can kind of be peering around as much as you can see. There's lots of bushes and trees and stuff kind of surrounding this cottage, kind of making it very like cozy and warm. But do a perception check to see if you see anything within those.
Can I join? Because I would have been scanned. I've been scanning the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a natural one minus one, so 0.
Oh.
Silva, you
Don't worry, I got your back.
this is you don't see anything. It's dark, and you're maybe a little worried about what we're about to go into. Kotatar.
Dirty 20.
a dirty 20. As you search this perimeter, you don't see anything out of the ordinary. Just looks like, but you're getting this feeling. With that, I would give you getting a weird feeling of anxiety coming from inside.
I would like to use my Horizon Walker ability to attempt to detect portals.
Okay. So that's a portal within a mile?
Yep.
You do not feel portals.
Hunch resolved. And he'll sort of, right above a whisper, whatever this is, I don't like it. Are we ready? And he'll go to and then he'll
I'll be right beside Kotatar.
All right.
Rapier drawn.
Rapier's drawn. Kotatar knocks. No answer. If you're still looking through the window, Nira, I'll say that you see it's as if this Loxodon did not even hear the knock. They are just rocking back and forth, looking at this book, flipping through the pages rapidly.
No reaction.
I'll open the door and walk in and I'll kind of manifest my shield.
All right, so I kind of picture David kind of squeezes in between the legs of you guys that are at the door and just kind of pushes it open. You walk in, and again, you see this cottage, this quaint little cottage, is just in ruins. It's just torn papers everywhere, books thrown. Even the lamp has been tossed over and just on its side, casting shadows on the room or whatever. And you see this little area that looks like a little area of playing with model trains. And
does the train look familiar?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it does. They look like a toy train,
but does it look?
It doesn't look exactly like the train that you saw. It just looks like in that dream world, the train looked like a toy train, like a really enlarged toy train, and you just happen to notice that. Yeah, it kind of looks like these.
I follow David in, and I'm looking to see if their eyes are odd.
Right. You see their eyes. Why don't you give me an insight check?
Not one.
Oof. You cannot tell what is going on with this Loxodon, with this creature. You just see panic, and you can't really tell where it's coming from. You do hear, if you're walking in, David, you're the first one to hear this, just saying, come on, please work, please do anything, please. Just over and over again.
I will kneel down by them, and I will reach my hand out and just very gently, I'll my fingertip will basically just touch their shoulder. I'll be in front of them. I'm not trying to sneak up on them. And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds, not because I think they're hurt, but I want to just send the warmth. And I also probably try to wave Nira in, because I know that she has that really calming ability to use prestidigitation, and just be like, Nira, if you can find anything in here that would help you figure out the right scent to project, maybe we can help ease before talking.
I could do one better. I could see what they're thinking about.
I was just about to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Look at Kotatar. I'm still invisible. Nods. And I cast Detect Thoughts and then immediately drop my invisibility. So then all of a sudden, Gareth, wherever they are, is just invisible.
You actually see, David, when you touched the shoulder of this Loxodon, they kind of jolt for a second and just say, it's gone. I'm nothing without it. And the thoughts you're getting, Nira, on a surface level are just panic and worry and a feeling of nothingness, like of self-loathing. If you'd like to probe deeper, let me know.
They're upset. It's not okay.
We have any way to calm them down?
I can try. Or I could try to see if I could figure out exactly what they're upset about. I would have to go deeper.
And if there's anyone still outside, like through the window, I'll try to like wave everyone in.
They lost something. It's really sad in there.
Gareth, are you still invisible?
No, the visibility would have dropped.
Oh, for both of you? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a concentration.
Okay. All right, so you have all, I'm assuming, Silva, Reginald, you guys have all entered this cottage at this point?
I'm going to
Yeah, I would have.
Stay outside.
kneel by Nira and grab this person's hands to just kind of hold on tight and look to Nira and say, I think you need to go deeper.
I agree.
I will push deeper.
All right, so that's a roll.
It's a wisdom save at 15.
Fails. So you now know the deeper thoughts, is that correct?
And I'll just be like holding their hands to try to comfort them as Nira's doing all this.
If it fails, I get insight to the reasoning, its emotional state, and something that looms large in the mind, so that it worries, loves, or hates.
You are getting this over and over in your head. My magic, it's gone. I'm an archmage. I have no magic. It's gone. I don't know where it is. This is the worst. What am I? I'm nothing without my magic. I'm nothing without my magic. This is my worst nightmare. And that's what you're getting over and over.
They lost their magic. Somehow they lost their magic. Something took their magic.
They're stuck in a nightmare.
Most likely.
Definitely.
Convince them that their magic is still around. Even pretend to cast a spell and say they did it. Maybe get it out.
Wow, all of my spells, none of them are very nicely to give. I don't have calm emotions, which would be helpful.
Yeah.
I just have command emotions.
Super.
Calm!
Calm the fuck down.
If I may, if this person here is perhaps in a nightmare state, and perhaps that nightmare may come to life, perhaps even attack from the outside, I think I will stand guard outside just to watch for anything.
While you're doing that, let me try something.
Okay. If that doesn't work, I'll try to wake them up.
Duval's gonna shoot it with an arrow.
As a matter
That's Kotatar's.
No. And he's gonna take out a small bottle of holy water. But still in true aggressive Kotatar fashion, he will not flick it in the face, but just cast protection from evil and good. And just so you know, so in general, if you're protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead, but you can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed. And if you're already charmed, frightened, or possessed by a creature, the target has advantage on any saving throws against the relevant effect.
Has advantage on any saving throws?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would they get maybe any help from the multiple things that we're doing to help calm them?
Not with this. So that was advantage. Failed both times. So
Jeez.
yeah, so does that mean they're still okay.
Yeah.
You just see this she's rocking. She's she's kind of just in this state of panic and frightened and anxiety.
Is there like a an aspect of like it, like as far as like the failure goes, right? Like that there was like a like why spell like took effect, but like it just wasn't.
Absolutely, your spell. You can definitely tell from your eyes that the effect has gone, and that maybe in a couple of minutes it'll sink in a little deeper and try again.
Nira.
Everyone wants Nira. Yes.
Do you want to go first, or shall I?
I will.
Okay, go first.
See if through your connection you can reach out to them and see if we can get them to focus and fight this off, because this spell did take effect, and I think we're getting closer.
I could try to go deeper. Actually, no, I don't think I can go any deeper with that spell.
No.
I could try to tell them to wake up somehow.
If I may, if something has taken a hold of this archmage, could you potentially command whatever is encompassing them to leave?
Can I do an Arcana check to see if I could touch or find that magic? Or can I use Detect Magic?
That's
Yes.
what I was gonna.
I have Detect
Absolutely.
Magic. I would like... We're spending time with this person. Use Detect Magic to see if I can find it again. Because I did see it on Sheepman.
All right.
Okay.
So you cast Detect Magic. That just happens innately, right? Okay.
Yes, it does.
You cast Detect Magic, and suddenly you can see a whole new layer, a whole new dimension. You see there's magic in the books, there's magic on the table, in the pens, and all these different parchments. You see magic coming off of those, but more importantly, you see a purple magic circling this Loxodon's head and drifting like a scent in the air into the kitchen.
Turn the kitchen to a sheep.
I turned the whole house into a sheep, us inside of it. I'm gonna go to follow it. Follow the
Alright.
magic smell.
So you guys see Nira gets up and starts to head towards the kitchen.
I'll follow.
It's this way.
Okay, you guys walk through this living room, and Nira and David, and I guess everyone is following Nira. Reginald is outside.
I'm outside, yep.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is Nira, Kotatar, and David kind of step into the kitchen first, maybe leaning around the corner as you've cocked an arrow. And there you see it. A shadowed version of this Loxodon, breathing heavily. And just golden eyes. And roll initiative.
Oh my gosh. It's my nightmare. Reginald was right.
All right, I shall come around. Let me get an initiative for it. Where's its Taurus plus? Okay, pulling out my handy dandy GM notebook. All right, let's do this.
Look at
I
that.
got a 27.
Look at you
Okay.
showing.
Wait, no, you didn't. Did you really?
I did get a 27.
How do you always roll so high? This is ridiculous.
Do you have like alert or something? That's amazing.
Sometimes people just roll really well, and sometimes people roll really terribly. And I think that Daniel and I are both examples of that.
Yeah.
I roll terribly.
We both have Dan at the start of our names, so maybe.
We do.
Too close.
Okay. All right, so I'll come around.
Balance
Kotatar.
in all things.
So I got I got 18.
18. Nira.
18!
All right.
Hey,
who,
twinsies!
who has the higher dex?
I'm
Kotatar?
pretty sure
I have
I
a
do.
+1. I have a 12.
Okay.
Yeah. I have a lot more than that.
Okay,
But I
so
want it
you'll go first, Kotatar.
But I want it more. You can
David.
have.
5.
5. Silva.
9.
9. And Reginald.
14.
All right, so Reginald, you're gonna miss out on this. Well, you'll hear probably commotion, and you can probably come in, but you have to use your movement during your action. Okay, great. So let me just put this in order. San Leon, you'll be first. Followed by Kotatar. Followed by Nira. Followed by Reginald. Then Silva. And then David. And somewhere in there will be a nightmare. 18.
Would they roll?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Would you like to know, weather boy?
All right. All right, San Leon.
Wait, I'm first.
Yeah, you got 27, didn't you? Oh, shut up. Shut up.
I want a 30.
All right. Well, let's rate. So I'll do that.
Okay.
So I just see that. I look back at the blocks and rocking back and forth, and back at this shadowy version that's just like, and I'm just like, oh no, not more fucking nightmares. As I pull out both my blades, I take one step forward, almost as like a kind of like a well-trained dancer, sort of lean to the side and just do a jab with the rapier, just directly toward the sternum of this arch mage.
All right, go ahead and make your attack roll.
If that is your real name.
If that's your
Real name.
Now, am I the only person that is directly 5 feet from this individual?
Yeah, you're the only one directly
Yeah.
5 feet. I'd say everyone else is 15 feet. You're all really close. It's a small
Okay, so I
region.
don't need to reckless attack yet. So I
Yeah.
will just do my normal attack with advantage. So that is attack. Oh my goodness, how do I attack? Oh wait, no, I understand. I remember. Hold on, I've got this.
Ooh. I believe in you.
Oh, yeah, not bad. And the next one is... Okay, natural 20.
right.
So, natural 20 with sneak.
All right, so double dice.
So, double the
And
dice.
Don't step on snake attack.
So, that's...
Oh, I did a pun correctly. Weird. I've never done. I'm very bad.
You did it! You're learning.
You've become the thing.
Don't get
you
used to
always
it.
hated.
I am the big bad evil guy. What have you done to me, Daniel?
18. So 8 plus 18. So 26 points of piercing damage as I just into the chest and go back to the shadows from where you've come from.
Very
Baring
good.
my teeth.
You see this rapier just go straight. Sorry, it's not a rapier, is it? Is it a rapier?
It's a rapier, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Goes straight into the heart of this shadow, and it just, and you see like almost shadow like disintegrate off of it as you have damaged it.
Awesome. I've used my bonus action, so I don't have a second attack to rage. So that is my go.
All right, that brings us up to Kotatar.
So quite the opposite of San Leon yelling at it. He just the arrow already like ready to go as it begins to familiar peak arcane energy begins to surround it. He just goes typical, and I'll use his planar warrior ability to add a d8 of force damage the next time I hit, which hopefully will be right now.
Awesome.
Nope, it's not. It's definitely not. That's a 12 to hit.
That doesn't hit. Sorry.
Nope. And then just like, jeez. 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Okay.
So that was 2 arrows, correct?
Correct. Yeah, first one missed, and then the second one is 9 points of magical piercing damage.
9 points. Thank you.
And yeah, he's gonna stay where he's at.
Okay, so you see 2 arrows. You see this shadow just go as it like one arrow goes right past its head, and then the other one right into the shoulder, and you feel shadow come off as you do damage. All right, moving on. Nira.
Hold still.
Looking at this thing, knowing it's tied, knowing that it's a spell, I'm gonna do Dispel Magic as my action.
Okay, tell me about it. What happens?
Choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range. Any spell of 3rd level or lower, the target ends. If it's above a 4th level, I have to roll for it, and the DC is 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay, roll for it.
What? It's not below a 3rd level.
With an archmage.
Hey.
I rolled an 18.
Okay, and then you add something to it, right? And
No,
what
it's
does
just the
Spellcasting-
DC.
10, no, so it's 10. So it's 10 plus the spell's level.
So if it's an 8th level spell or less.
So anything
I
8 or
need to
below,
roll
I
then.
just dispelled magic.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
If it's an 8th level spell or less, it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh
Fine.
no.
I was gonna say, if you tell me that is a 9th level spell, I'm gonna leave right now.
If it's still there, I would like to use my bonus action to get the fuck out as fast as
No
possible.
doubt.
I'm
No
done.
doubt.
I leave.
Well, I guess it can't cast Meteor Swarm.
I am running.
The Archmage doesn't cast it. Hope casts me to.
Right.
You just see this and this shadow disappears.
Oh,
Typical.
I'm
Did I stab it that hard?
I'm gonna run straight to the Archmage. Is she still the same way?
You can see, I'm getting my stuff in order here. And you see she's coming to. What happened? What happened? My magic. And then you notice she stands up really tall, and she's tall, she's big, she's a Loxodon, and she bumps into the wall for a second. She goes, "Oh my, I can feel it, I can feel it, I can feel it." And you can see that she casts like a prestidigitation or some sort of spell, and she's quickly like whips up all of her books, and all of her papers go back onto the table and back into the bookshelves, and you just see as the cottage kind of comes back into order. "Oh, I did it! I did it! I have my magic back! My magic is back! Oh, hello! I'm sorry. Who are you? What are you doing in my house?"
Saving you from your nightmare.
Hi. You were having a bad dream?
Yes, I was having a nightmare. I thought my magic, it was gone.
Nightmares are real now. There probably was a better way to say that.
Straight to the point.
Nightmares are real.
Nightmares are real.
There's
how?
a guy and there's a castle that fell, and he was the king of nightmares, and now they're real, and so we have to be careful. And the
A castle.
mayor sent us for you.
A castle. A castle fell. A castle fell.
Have a cup of tea.
Right. Tea. I'll just go into the kitchen, and would you all like some tea?
Wait, hold
Love a
on.
cup
Where
of
did the tea isn't evil, right?
Tea is never evil.
Okay.
Detect magic?
Are you who's trying to detect magic? Reginald, you come inside.
Oh, I don't have detect magic. I just
okay.
have detect magic on the tea.
If the tea was magic, it would have glowed when I went in there.
Exactly.
I just briefly explained to the Archmage, you need to be aware of your emotions. If they become too erratic, you can be overtaken by the nightmare. So just be calm, have tea. It's a defense mechanism.
This is me. I'm very calm. You actually helped me a lot. Thank you very much. And you kind of get the sense that this is kind of just a scatterbrained person who maybe this is just kind of their energy.
Brilliant. Just make sure that if anything starts to pique you up, just breathe and just do whatever calms you down. It's literally going to save you and a lot of other people.
Yes. Oh, right. Well, where are my manners? I am Illichor. Very nice to meet you. Welcome to my home. Sorry it was a little bit messy.
Hello, Illichor. How are you? Well, obviously we know you've been through an ordeal. The mayor is looking for you.
Oh, of course. Castodon, what time is it? Oh, I don't even know. I feel like I've been
There's
here
no
all night.
worry. There's no rush. They just wanted to make sure you were all right. We came here to check in on you, and
Oh, that is very kind. That's very kind of... Oh, this castle, you keep speaking of the castle. Like, the castle. And you see that, Illichor goes to, like, grab a book off the desk. Or actually, there's a book on the table, like, in the kitchen. There's just, books everywhere. Oh, yes, a castle. Tell me more about this castle.
Well, how long have you been here?
I don't know. I went to bed last night, and then... Well, now here I am.
Well, we did. The castle fell last night, so yeah, that would make sense why they didn't know about it.
Lines up.
The nightmare. Well, no. Well, first there was a castle in the sky with the sky elves, and then that fell down because they made a deal with the Nightmare King, and the Nightmare King was in the castle with the tentacles, and they're spilling into the real world.
Nightmares are real now.
Nightmares are real.
Bookend.
Okay.
We should get that on a shirt or something so we can wear it when we walk into places.
Nightmares are real, man. I was there,
a lot
man.
of time.
The end is coming. Nightmares are real.
No, of course, I can feel it. I can feel the magic. You see, she starts flipping through books while setting some, heating up some water, and she kind of points. She says, "You said there's a castle somewhere. Here, the castle can be a source of great magic sometimes."
It's melded with the capital, so it is actually right outside. You could walk out the cottage and see it.
We did tell people to go
Absolutely.
somewhere else, though. That we're near it.
The castle, if it's here, please let me see it.
Yes, of course. Tea first or later?
Tea on the go, and like
Tea on the go. One.
You can see
Put
like
it on the table.
yeah.
I love it.
Start just grabbing the table.
I've got two now.
we need a Tensor's floating disc so that we can just use it as a little table.
I need like I need a fan art of like a chibi Kotatar with like.
Oh my gosh! See, we need a floating disc so we can have the little disc of calm, and it has all these different calming things on it that we just summon. Little poetry books, tea.
You lead Illichor out, and in this grove, it is thick. There is no way to see the rest of the city from here, so Illichor saying, with the things you said, Illichor is still flipping through her book, and she's looking as she walks, and she says, "Oh, castles can be a very bad sign. In mythology and lore, and then the grove opens up, and you're back in the open air of the city, and immediately she turns, and she sees this giant castle in the city, and she just." Oh no.
Yeah.
In the city, yes.
Yep.
Oh no.
The
That's what we're
dream
talking
world
about.
and our realm have fused. Literally. So it's everywhere. It's not just here, it's everywhere. In other realms too, apparently, right? In other realms?
I think so. We should assume that, yes.
And you just see this Loxodon book it towards Town Square.
Excuse the pun.
Should we follow?
We should follow, yes, we
follow.
should. I start running after them.
Very well,
Yeah.
let's go.
Yep.
You guys run all the
I have
way
little
down.
legs.
Yeah.
You have a broom.
We have a broom.
Do you want me to
David, hop on.
you?
We hop on the broom. Cheeseburgers.
Oh, no.
Roll a d6.
Roll a d6.
3.
Okay.
David is hanging by his vine.
Okay. You guys have
Don't
pulled
worry,
the
it'll all be
cheeseburger
fine.
special.
Oh.
It'll all be fine. You guys chase after this Loxodon who's just booking it down to they get to the front of this castle, kind of, working her way around, and she stops, and she has her book in her hand, and she's just She looks all the way up as she stands like right in front of it. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is very bad. This is very bad. And she goes back to looking in her book.
It's really hard to damage too.
Of course.
You can damage it with magic.
But he's got to use a lot of it. And it didn't do a lot of damage.
Let's see. You see, of course this is a source of such evil magic. It's like, you see it. Do you see it? There's an aura. There's an aura like heat coming off of it. Can you see it? It's just evil. And
It's pretty annoying, yes.
You don't want to go in there. It doesn't feel good inside.
oh no. And she's gonna do some like detecting magic, and she's gonna kind of do some investigation on this, and she just kind of walks around what she can see, and she almost touches it but then doesn't. She just feels like this like almost like electricity shock, like she doesn't want to get near it. And she says, no, of course no one would want to go in here. It's just the frightening, the nightmare. There's a fear. No one can go in this, not even if they tried. And you see that there are people who have gathered around you guys, and everybody knows Illichor in this city, and they know how she is, but they're very interested in what she has to say about this city, about this castle.
What do you mean they can't go in it if they want to? We went inside of it.
You went inside.
And then I went inside again earlier, but then it was bad.
Right.
And you damaged it. You were able to damage it. And you see she turns and she casts like a bolt of something. Probably a witch bolt or something. She says, yeah. And you just see the magic kind of dispel on it.
Oh, we could take you to the hole we made.
Please.
I walk up to it and I just slam into it as hard as I can.
Are you doing a magical attack?
I mean, I don't have a magical bone in my body, so I'm just going to try an athletics slam.
You slam into it, and nothing happens to the castle, but you can touch it. You touched it.
Oh yeah, I lean on it.
Very
That's
curious.
right, we can touch it, yes.
Very curious.
You see my face, like, panic, and then I go, and then I just turn back into Gareth. Yep.
She doesn't even notice. She's like so. She like makes, even if she saw you change, it doesn't faze her at all. Just take me to this hole.
Oh, okay. And we take her to the hole.
All right, you walk it around. Kotatar, did you want to say something?
He was just gonna shoot right next to Damien.
You're definitely welcome to do
Make
that.
a new hole.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Yeah, make an attack roll, and also, if it's below a 10, you're gonna hit San Leon.
Don't worry, it's a 19.
Okay.
Kotatar, what?
Oh, God.
You see, Illichor looks as your arrow hits the castle and cracks into it. That's incredible. How? And then you guys will walk around to the hole that you created, having to go down an alley and then maybe in through a back door into a side door of a building, because everything's kind of fused together. So you have to kind of make your way to this hole. And you can see that the people that were there trying to get through it have completely abandoned it. No one has touched this hole like since you guys left. Very, very curious. Very, very, very curious. And you see that she tries to like go in, and then she's no. There's like a feeling. There's one that you can't fight. But you said that you went in.
Now I'll walk up to the hole and I'll like kind of stick half my body in it.
Yeah, you go in. You do get this overfeeling sense of like that. It brings you almost back to that time when you guys were fighting the Nightmare King.
That's why I only half my body.
Yeah. But you're able to go in, and she's very, very curious. You said that you went there.
Tentacles took us.
Yes. Oh yes, tentacles.
You fought. You took down a king, a Nightmare King.
Yes.
We stopped him.
Perhaps.
I don't know if we actually took him down though. That seemed really easy.
Please tell me. when you defeated him, did you come in contact with him?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Y'all
Oh yeah.
contacted him.
Then perhaps his magic, his realm, is somehow inside of you. Somehow you are affected by it, and you, over anyone, can affect that of this nightmare realm. Yes, perhaps. It is
So
you.
what you're saying is we're like vestiges for the power to stop this?
Yes, I suppose. All I know is that you were the only ones able to damage this castle, and this castle is a great source of evil, maybe even perhaps the source. Quick. And she's gonna scurry back around to the front. And I don't know if you'll follow her, but she's just thinking back and forth, and she just kind of runs off to the front.
Kotatar will just say under his breath, you are exhausting.
Nira is like
Yeah,
on her
David-
heels, just like back and forth, just into this.
David's just gonna take a seat on the grass, like while they're looking at it, and he's just gonna be like,
Uh-oh. Silva, make a perception check.
Ooh. Okay. Natural 20.
Whoa!
19 total.
Wow, you have a negative perception?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wisdom, dumb stat. That's like me in real life.
You do notice that David has stepped away from the group and isn't looking well.
I keep an eye on David for a little bit. I'm not going to immediately approach, but he starts looking a little more agitated than he already is. I'll go sit with him. But I'll just kind of hover by for now.
Okay, so you take a step back as
everyone's
well
running
as everyone's running back and forth, and Illichor gets to the front of the door again and looks and kind of searches around the area. Then this is like a town square, so there's cobblestone, and even after the attacks, there's piles of rocks from buildings that had, gotten destroyed. And Nira, give me a perception check.
That's a 9. I'm very distracted.
Okay. You just see Illichor is looking at this, almost trying to touch it, and she keeps saying, perhaps you guys, when you were in the realm, and it's within you now, and so yes, no one else can affect it, but this castle, it needs to come down. It needs magic to come down, but it can only be affected. The way it needs to be affected is not with attacking it directly. No. And do Kotatar. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was
Nira.
like, can I do something inside of it to help?
This is stagnant. It's stagnant, but it needs to be destroyed, but I don't think like this. Not like this. And Kotatar, you can make a perception check while maybe they are talking. You can be just looking around.
Jesus. Not great. 13.
Okay. With a 13. San Leon, you want to give me a perception check?
Someone figure this out.
I
Yeah,
will say
yeah.
though, when she's talking, if it's not the source that needs to be destroyed, perhaps it's the destination. Destroy those connections. And slowly over time, perhaps it will dissipate.
Very, very, very good. I think that might be the case. Yes, that might be the case. Destroy that which. Oh, how to put it in words? Yes, like you say, these nightmares. You say that is inflicting people, destroy them, and it'll destroy this castle, the source. And I'll give it to Reginald. Where are you, Reginald?
I would have followed our little friend, I think.
I think while they're talking, you would be perceiving things.
Yes, I think so too. I think so too.
Someone make a damn roll.
I rolled, it was not good.
Yeah.
So
17.
Beautiful. Okay, Reginald, while everyone is, you see Silva has gone off into near the grass with David, and everyone else is kind of involved with speaking with Illacor. You kind of peruse, you're like looking around, and out of the corner of your eye, you see what looks like a piece of the castle just lying on the ground.
Approach it cautiously.
It is part of the castle, but is in the shape of a horse.
How big a horse?
It's just a small little miniature, like a broken fragment of the castle, but it is shaped like a horse.
Poke at it with my rapier.
Yeah, it's like a rock.
I'll pick it up and show Gareth. What do you think of this?
Hey, Reginald. That's a horse. Wait a minute. Wait, that's a horse. We fought nightmares. Maybe, hold on. Let's look around for one that's looks like a mage or an archmage or something. I look
Go ahead
around.
and make a investigation check this time.
Oh, even worse. Let's have a look. Investigation.
If anyone would like to help, or if you're at this
20.
point.
Oh,
Natural
doesn't
20.
need it.
Got it.
With a 21.
What hell?
Just picking up
You-
random things. This looks like a star.
Gareth, you are looking through the rubble and where this other piece fell, which came from almost the corner of the castle. And in that rubble, you start digging around. You see a little miniature Luxodon cracked from the castle.
I run over to the archmage. Archmage,
Yes.
I think I get it.
Oh, very curious.
Do you get it?
Curious. Of course, yes.
Of course.
And this looks like me.
It does.
And it came from the castle. Yes, of course.
And you had a nightmare. And we stopped the nightmare.
And here it is.
And there it is.
Stuff. It broke off
From
of
the castle. Yeah.
Yes. And that just proves our theory that you must defeat the outside source of the magic to defeat and break down this castle.
I would have ran with Gareth, I'm assuming. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I overhear, Reginald overhears this. Defeat the source. So defeat every nightmare.
At least,
Gonna be here a while.
That's
least
thousands, tens of thousands. That could take a long time.
Maybe not all of them, but maybe like a fair amount of them, you know what I mean? Like enough to weaken the whatever the...
Weaken the
Stuff.
Gotta take out the
weaken the
foundation
castle.
nightmares.
Yeah. Yeah, foundation nightmares, yeah.
and you'll do this. You'll do this.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think we have much of a choice.
I shall go back to Castodon, and I shall gather all of the mages in the cities and have them come to see if we can do anything while you try this.
Kotatar just nods.
Yes. We will do this. Is there a way we can, because we have to travel far and wide, I'm assuming, to defeat all these nightmares, is there a way for us to communicate with you over long distances?
Yes, absolutely. And she reaches into her pouch, and she has a stone, and she pulls out a second one. Sending stone. Yes. And she'll give one to you, Reginald.
Oh, thank you very much.
Might I be so bold as to ask a favor if we're gonna do this?
Chris?
Some of us don't have magical weapons or magic whatnot. I've noticed when I stab some of these nightmares, it doesn't quite do what I want it to do. Might need a bit more oomph to actually... Out of game, Sandleon is asking to at least have the weapon sanctified or made at least very basically magic.
Are you asking for a +1 weapon?
Not necessarily, just the ability to hit. Like a silvered weapon might actually do it. I'm unsure. Just something that, yeah.
I'm afraid I don't know how to combat this type of magic yet. I have much thinking to do. But there are places you can go to make weapons more magical and sanctified. I can tell you where to go.
Yeah, thanks.
And, go ahead, Kotatar.
Really quickly, how familiar are you with the ethereal plane?
Oh, very, very.
Very? Would you say, or would you think, I should say, based off of all of this thinking that you're doing, stepping into the ethereal plane would give us a hunch as to maybe a specific concentration of this to help us with a prioritization?
Yes, I do see that could work, yes.
In that case, I'll be right back. He snaps his fingers and uses his etherealness ability to ethereal step into the ethereal plane.
Very good.
Like you do.
Okay.
Like you do.
As you do on a Tuesday.
As you do,
Kotatar
going
just
up.
left us. I think Kotatar abandoned the quest.
Kotatar, where are you?
They had enough.
You step out of this plane and into the ethereal plane. And it feels calming, feels expansive, it feels... And what would you like to do here?
So I could see and hear the plane that I originated from it, but everything looks gray and I can't see anything more than 60 feet away.
Okay.
What I'm looking for is if there are like arcana-like connection pieces that are sort of spreading out to different areas away from the castle.
Give me a D100 roll.
Ooh.
I love these. 86.
You look at this castle. Everything is gray around you and feels almost like a void as you look around, and you can see this castle and like the tendrils almost of magic coming off of it, and you can see that there's like an aura that Ilcor was talking about coming off of this castle. And then something happens and you are sucked back even further, and you are now floating in this expansive area. You still can only see the Kotatar. You can now see almost all planes of existence within you, surrounding you. You are above it all. Like you are larger than you can fit into your own body. And as you look at all of these planes of existence, is this purple magic that was coming off the castle now spreads to every plane of existence. But you notice that where you are in Ethrena, which is where you guys are currently, it feels strong. That there's many tendrils here. And as you look, you see that it's Ithrena, then Limbo, then the plane of fire, and then then you just see all these other planes of existence that you even see Mount Celestia, and there's tendrils leading there. But as far as you know, the strongest is coming from Ithrena, and then maybe Limbo is where the power is conducting next. And you're back.
I saw everything.
Sorry, what?
Every plane, everything, how it connects, the tendrils that connect, based here. Our hunch is spot on.
You've never seen this before, Kotatar?
I've never been to the ethereal plane before.
You haven't?
That was my first trip.
Do you need to lie down? A cup of tea?
No, I don't think so. But it's incredibly jarring to see information that you've only assumed was possible just thrust in front of you unexpectedly. Amazing and terrifying.
We've got your back.
I know.
Over with Silva and David. I think Silva's just been kind of providing like a bodily presence. And at this point, she'll just kind of... looks like they figure something out. And sit down by David.
And when you sit down, David will look at you, kind of like just grabbing his head, and then he kind of like just looks at you and says, Silva, I think something's wrong. And when he opens his eyes, you see a little bit of like red lightning coursing through his eyes.
Come here. And I'll look into your eye and see if anything stands out to me. There's something in your eye? Some sort of magic? I don't really know.
I don't know what to do with it.
Is it hurting?
Yeah, it's my head and my skin. It's pulling apart. I don't know this feeling. I don't know what this is.
Could you be having some sort of magical side effect to the nightmares?
The nightmare has a feeling, right? The nightmare feels like the nightmare, right? This doesn't feel like that.
What does it feel like?
Like I'm coming apart at the seams, and I don't know how to I don't know what to do with it.
Does Kier know anything?
He hasn't shown himself recently, but no, I just haven't been feeling great, and now I will kind of like stand up, kind of like float up, and the red lightning in my eyes kind of shoots out. And for the first time ever for David, he will cast a new spell. And out of his body, this just red lightning kind of starts just crackling around him. And as it comes out, it turns into like wreaths of flame. So it's like almost like fire lightning. And he will summon a fire elemental made up of fire and lightning that looks exactly like the lightning knight that we fought.
Holy shit,
yeah.
that's cool.
And then he'll just be on the ground like heaving.
Hey, I'll come over to you as you stand there.
What's going on over there?
It's okay. I think it's okay.
How big is it, David?
Yeah, how big is it?
I think it's
Probably pretty big, right? Yeah, I think elementals are large size, right?
It's a medium elemental. What does it say? Armor. I mean, it says medium elemental. It doesn't really seem to say.
Yep. So it'll be like a humanoid size.
Yeah, it's bigger. It's bigger than David.
Bigger than David. It looks like a knight in shining armor, literally made out of electricity. Just similar to what you guys fought in the air.
I look down at my bow, and then I look up, noting that it doesn't seem to be lighting up, and kind of just put a hand out to everybody. I think it's all right.
We fought that thing.
It's David. It's. I think Destiny is going through a little bit of puberty right now.
Oh no! You're becoming a real boy.
I'm a real gnome.
Is that Kia? Something else.
Kier is manifested also standing at it, and like kind of like mouth agape, like he's shocked too, kind of.
David, you hear kind of from across, because I mean we're kind of still far away, and he'll just kind of look at you and say, I knew you were lying. But it's clear that you've also learned something new.
Illichor looks at you, Kotatar, knowing, as an archmage, knowing this magic of what you've just done, and she looks into your eyes. Oh shit. Okay. And she gets really close, almost uncomfortably close. She doesn't seem to understand boundaries. She gets in close and she looks at your eyes and she goes, "You've seen it. You mustn't be overwhelmed. It can be done. But take your time. Please.
What can be
you
done?
must rest. You hold the power. Take it one step at a time. Help those in need. It's not going away anytime soon."
I think I understand.
And with that, we shall end.
Holy shit. That last 10 minutes was cray.
What?
Amazing. Great job, guys. All right. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you to my beautiful players. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you to everyone who's watching on YouTube. We appreciate you, and even listening on the podcast. Thank you. And we will be back next week for episode 4 of Misfits of Alseta. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.